It's just us. I brought the Inquisitor.
I'm Alistair. It's an honor to meet you, Inquisitor, though I wish it were someplace a bit nicer.
Are you the Alistair who fought the Archdemon with the hero of Ferelden?
I need to change my name. Yes, that was me. War, betrayal, darkspawn, all lots of fun. And made for excellent stories, I'm sure. Nobody cares about that anymore. I answer to Warden Commander Clarel now. Like everyone else.
I'll take all the help I can get. I know the Wardens have troubles of their own. I wonder, though, might those troubles have anything to do with Corypheus?
When Hawke killed Corypheus, the Wardens thought the matter resolved. But archdemons don't die from simple injury. I feared Corypheus might have the same power, so I started to investigate. I found hints, but no proof. And then, not long after, every Warden in Orlais began to hear the calling.
I recall that being a bad thing. But I don't recall you telling me about all this.
It was a secret. A very dangerous one. I try to actually keep a few of my oaths to the Wardens.
Is the calling some sort of Grey Warden ritual?
Well, Wardens are tied to the Darkspawn. We're connected somehow. And eventually that connection poisons you. You get bad dreams, and then you start to hear the music. It calls to you, quiet at first. And then, so loud, you can't bear it. At that point, you say farewell, and go into the deep roads to die fighting. In death, sacrifice.
And every Grey Warden in Orlais is hearing that right now. They think they're dying.
Yes, I think Corypheus caused this somehow. If all the Wardens die, who will stop the next blight? That's what has them so terrified.
And then they do something desperate. Which is, of course, what Corypheus wants.
Is the calling they're hearing real, or is Corypheus mimicking it somehow?
I have no idea. Before all this, I'd barely heard of Corypheus. I didn't even know he was supposed to be a Magister until I started digging around. But right now, all that matters is the Wardens are acting like they're going to die.
You said all the Wardens are hearing the calling. Does that include you?
Unfortunately, yes. When I'm talking or fighting, I can almost ignore it. But whenever things are quiet, I can hear it. It's like a song you can't get out of your head. Damned annoying, frankly.
How can Corypheus make all these Wardens hear the calling?
I have no idea. I suppose it's part of what he is. Corypheus is tied to the Blight, and not just a product of it like most Darkspawn. Wardens are connected to the Darkspawn too. That's how he seems able to control Wardens who get too close to him. And that's likely what he's doing here as well. Somehow.
So the Wardens are making some last, desperate attack on the Darkspawn.
I saw what a Blight did to Ferelden. If Wardens hadn't stopped it, there'd be no more Thedas. Warden Commander Clarel proposed some drastic things, blood magic and such, to prevent further Blights before we die. I protested. Maybe too loudly. And Clarel sent guards and... well... here I am. Wardens were gathering here, in the western approach. It's an old Tevinter ritual tower. I'm going to investigate. I could use some help. We should get to that ritual tower in the western approach. Ideally before it lives up to its name.
Was the hero of Ferelden involved in all this?
No. She left before any of this began. A mission of her own. Something personal. We Wardens don't live that long. The calling I spoke of, the real one before it went crazy. Eventually it killed her. Thing is, When we killed the archdemon, we discovered that might not be as set in stone as we thought. So she's searching for a way to end the curse. For us both. Maybe for us all.
The way you talk about her, I'm surprised you aren't still together.
Oh, there was a discussion, believe me. Someone had to look into the rumors about Corypheus. We didn't know what was involved at the time. She was going to stay to help, but we had a lead that couldn't wait. One of us had to go. And when I'm done here, we'll be together again. Forever this time.
How can the calling be stopped? Is that actually possible?
Grand Enchanter Fiona was once a warden, so I'm told, but had the taint completely drawn out of her. And there was also a warden named Avernus, who extended his life far beyond what should have been possible. So, we looked into it. We weren't going to give up without a fight. And that's when we found a rumor that meant going deep into the West. It wasn't much, but we've done more with less. My love will find a way. I'm certain of it.
Have you been happy with her in the years since the Blight?
Happier than I ever dreamed possible. She's more than I deserve. And I hope I make her days easier as well. She was rebuilding the Wardens in Ferelden while I hunted Darkspawn left over from the Blight. It was hard work for both of us. But we always had each other.
If she's been looking for a way to stop the calling, perhaps she could help us.
I'll give the information to your people in the war room. If nothing else, I'd like to warn her about Corypheus. Need something else?
You were there, weren't you? You helped fight the archdemon.
I'm going to be answering that question for the rest of my life. Yes, I was there. It was big. The hero of Ferelden was brave. But that was 10 years ago. What have you done for us lately, Alistair? New times. New problems.
What's it like, being a warden?
Oh, it's wonderful. You get fresh peaches delivered every morning, first choice of local village girls, and bunnies too. Well, maybe it's not that. Not even close to that. I watched my brothers die at Ostagar soon after I joined. I never thought I'd see wardens kill themselves.
Why were the wardens trying to kill you?
When Clarel started talking blood magic and demons to deal with the calling, I said it wasn't a good idea. First, it was awkward silences, some coughing. But when I mentioned Corypheus, things really went wild. The warden mages said I was interfering, called me a traitor. Funny how often that happens to me.
You mentioned Warden Commander Clarel. Is she behind this?
She's the one who summoned me and the other wardens to Orlais when we started hearing the calling. I don't know her well. She's a mage. Smart, careful, determined. The sort of mage the Templars told me to keep a close watch over. Makes her the best kind of warden. Or at least I would have thought so. Maybe the Templars aren't wrong about everything.
Do you think she's helping Corypheus willingly, or was she duped?
Laurel would never serve something that looks like a darkspawn willingly. I heard about an advisor of some kind. Maybe we'll learn more at the Western Approach.
Corypheus was held in a warden prison, right? So the wardens should know all about him.
You'd think the wardens would share information with each other, but they're really big on keeping secrets. Maybe they think some knowledge is too dangerous, I don't know. I only found out about Corypheus after I started digging for information. Even then, it wasn't much. For most wardens, he'd be nothing more than an old legend, dead long ago. If they knew of him at all.
We'll talk later.
Glad you could make it. We've seen lights coming from the tower.
Blood magic, I'd wager. You can smell it. Or see the corpses. You take point. I'll guard your backs.
Wait! No.
Warden Commander Clarel's orders were clear.
This is wrong!
Remember your oath. In war, victory. In peace, vigilance. In death,
I'm sorry.
sacrifice. Good. Now bind it just as I showed you. Inquisitor, what an unexpected pleasure. Lord Livius Erimond of Virantium, at your service.
I'm guessing you're not a warden?
But you are. The one Clarel let slip. And you found the Inquisitor and came to stop me. Shall we see how that goes?
It looks like you've already done some of my work for me.
What, him? We simply needed his blood. Oh, were you hoping to garner sympathy? Maybe make the Wardens feel a bit of remorse? Wardens, hands up! Hands down.
Corypheus has enslaved them.
They did this to themselves. You see, the calling had the Wardens terrified. They looked everywhere for help.
Including Tevinter.
Yes, and since it was my master who put the calling into their little heads, we in the Venatori were prepared. I went to Clarel full of sympathy, and together we came up with a plan. Raise a demon army, march into the deep roads, and kill the old gods before they wake.
Corypheus marching across Orlais with an army of demons. That was in the future I saw at Redcliffe.
And now you know how it begins. Sadly for the Wardens, the binding ritual I taught their mages has a side effect. They are now my master's slaves. This was a test. Once the rest of the Wardens complete the ritual, the army will conquer Thedas.
Do you really want to see the world fall to the Blight? What do you get out of this?
The Elder One commands the Blight. He is not commanded by it, like the mindless Darkspawn. The Blight is not unstoppable or uncontrollable. It is simply a tool.
Somebody's certainly a tool.
As for me, while the Elder One rules from the Golden City, we, the Venatori, will be his god-kings here in the world.
So Corypheus influenced the Wardens and made them do this ritual.
Made them? No! Everything you see here, the blood sacrifices to bind the demons, the Wardens did it of their own free will. Fear is a very good motivator, and they were very afraid. You should have seen Clarel agonize over the decision. Burdens of command, I suppose.
Why would the Wardens try to kill the old gods?
A blight happens when Darkspawn find an old god and corrupt it into an archdemon. If someone fought through the deep roads and killed the old gods before they could be corrupted, woof, no more blights, ever. The Wardens sacrificed their lives and saved the world.
That's madness. For all we know, killing the old gods could make things even worse.
Well then, it's a good thing I'm taking this demon army off their hands.
Why would Clarel risk using demons?
Demons need no food, no rest, no healing. Once bound, they will never retreat, never question orders. They are the perfect army to fight through the deep roads. Or across Orlais. Now they are bound to my master.
Release the Wardens from the binding and surrender. I won't ask twice.
No, you won't. The Elder One showed me how to deal with you. in the event you're foolish enough to interfere again. That mark you bear, the anchor that lets you pass safely through the veil, you stole that from my master. He's been forced to seek other ways to access the Fade. When I bring him your head, his gratitude will be... Ah! Kill them!
Well,
You were right. Thanks to the ritual, the Warden mages are enslaved to Corypheus.
and the Warden warriors? Oh, of course. It's not real blood magic until someone gets sacrificed.
Human sacrifice, demon summoning. Who looks at this and thinks it's a good idea?
The fearful and the foolish.
Hawke, they made a mistake, but they thought it was necessary.
All blood mages do. Everyone has a story they tell themselves to justify bad decisions. And it never matters. In the end, you are always alone with your actions.
I may know where the Wardens are. Eramond fled that way. There's an abandoned Warden fortress in that direction. Adamant.
Good thinking.
The Warden and I will scout out Adamant and confirm that the other Wardens are there. We'll meet you back at Skyhold.
I can't stand this. How many Grey Wardens died here, and for what? Eramond and the Wardens are definitely holed up at Adamant Fortress, by the way. Don't know if Hawke told you.
How could the Wardens willingly sacrifice their own to summon demons?
I know it sounds nutty. Being a Warden makes us special. But it comes with a heavy price. You have to walk away from your old life, and be prepared to do anything to stop the next blight. And we are the only ones who can. The only ones willing to make the decisions, the sacrifices. To do that, oh, you wouldn't understand. Or, well, with that mark on your hand, maybe you would.
We'll talk later.
I got her note. She might be onto something. There's danger, of course. But there's always danger. Thank you for getting word. It's easier to put it out of your mind, to focus on the task at hand. But hearing from her again... Oh, maker's breath. But I do miss that woman. Well, let's get on with it. Something you need?
We'll talk later.
Stay back! We will not be sacrificed for some insane ritual! Everyone just stay back! Keep your distance!
Chernoff, I just helped save you.
Why should I trust you, Alistair? You're a traitor to the Wardens. Clarel called for your death.
Clarel has gone mad.
You expect me to turn on my fellow Wardens, like you did?
I'm trying to save the Wardens.
No. You're lying. You're all lying! Wardens, attack! Stay back. We will not be sacrificed for some insane ritual. Can't you see? This is madness!
They're bound to the demons. I'm on your side.
Everyone just stay back! Keep your distance!
Chernoff, I just helped save you.
Why should I trust you, Alistair? You're a traitor to the Wardens. Clarel called for your death.
The Inquisition is here to stop Clarel, not to kill Wardens. If you fall back, you won't be harmed.
All right. My men will stay back. We want no part of this. Deal with Clarel as you must.
Nicely done. I'm glad some of them could be reasoned with.
Saved a lot of lives on the battlements, Inquisitor.
Some of the new recruits have been willing to stand down. It would be nice to avoid bloodshed.
Commander Cullen will hold the path open for us as long as possible, Inquisitor. Our forces are ready when you are.
Wardens! We are betrayed by the very world we have sworn to protect.
The Inquisition is inside Clarel. We have no time to stand on ceremony.
These men and women are giving their lives, Magister. That might mean little in Tavinta, but for the Wardens, it is a sacred duty. It has been many long years, my friend.
Too many, Clarel. If my sword arm can no longer serve the Wardens, then my blood will have to do.
It will.
Stop them! We must complete the ritual!
I'm sure you can't wait for Clarel to do that. How else are you going to bind her?
Yes, Inquisitor. I want to bind the Warden Commander to a demon. Everyone in this room already knows that. And yes, the ritual requires blood sacrifice. Hate me for that if you must, but do not hate the Wardens for doing their duty!
We make the sacrifices no one else will. Our warriors die proudly for a world that will never thank them.
And then he binds your mages to Corypheus.
Corypheus? But he's dead.
These people will say anything to shake your confidence, Clarel.
Bring it through! please. I've seen more than my share of blood magic. It is never worth the cost.
I helped fight the archdemon in Ferelden. Could you consider listening to me?
Be ready with the ritual, Clarel. This demon is truly worthy of your strength.
Listen to me! I have no quarrel with the Wardens. I have spared those I could. I don't want to kill you, but you're being used. And some of you know it, don't you?
The mages who've done the ritual. They're not right. They were my friends, but now they're like puppets on a string.
You cannot let fear sway your mind, Warden Chernoff. He's not afraid. You are. You're afraid that you ordered all these brave men and women to die for nothing.
If this were a fight against future blights, I would be at your side. But it's a lie.
Clarel, we have come so far. You're the only one who can do this.
Perhaps we could test the truth of these charges to avoid more bloodshed.
Or perhaps I should bring in a more reliable ally. My master thought you might come here, Inquisitor. He sent me this to welcome you. Clarel, wait.
Help the Inquisitor! You've destroyed the Grey Wardens!
You did that to yourself, you stupid bitch. All I did was dangle a little power before your eyes, and you couldn't wait to get your hands bloody. You could have served a new god.
I will never serve the Blight!
Well, this is unexpected.
We were falling. If this is the afterlife, the Chantry owes me an apology. This looks nothing like the Maker's bosom.
No. This is the Fade. The Inquisitor opened a rift. We came through. And survived. I never thought I would ever find myself here physically. Look. The Black City. Almost close enough to touch.
This is incredible.
What spirit commands this place? I have never seen anywhere like it.
It's not how I remember the Fade either. Perhaps it's because we're here physically, instead of just dreaming. The stories say you walked out of the Fade at Haven. Was it like this?
I don't know. I still can't remember what happened the last time I did this.
Well, whatever happened at Haven, we can't assume we're safe now. That huge demon was right on the other side of that rift Eramond was using, and there could be others.
In the real world, the rift with the demons in it was nearby, in the main hall. Can we get out the same way?
It beats waiting around for demons to find us, right? There. Let's go.
What? That can't be.
I greet you, Warden. And you, Champion.
Divine Justinia, most holy.
Cassandra.
Cassandra, you knew the Divine. Is this really her?
I don't know. It is said the souls of the dead pass through the Fade and sometimes linger, but we know the spirits lie. Be wary, Inquisitor.
I don't recall the Divine glowing. In my experience, that's something spirits do.
You think my survival impossible, yet here you stand alive in the Fade yourselves. In truth, proving my existence either way would require time we do not have.
Really? How hard is it to answer one question? I'm a human, and you are?
I am here to help you. You do not remember what happened at the Temple of Sacred Ashes, Inquisitor.
The real Divine would have no way of knowing that I'd been made Inquisitor.
I know, because I have examined memories like yours, stolen by the demon that serves Corypheus. It is the nightmare you forget upon waking. It feeds off memories of fear and darkness, growing fat upon the terror. The false calling that terrified the Wardens into making such grave mistakes? It's work.
I'd like to have a few words with this nightmare about that.
You will have your chance, brave Warden. This place of darkness is its lair.
Corypheus seems to have a lot of demons at his disposal. How does he command so many?
I know not how he commands his army of demons. His power may come from the Blight itself, but the nightmare serves willingly. For Corypheus has brought much terror to this world. He was one of the Magisters who unleashed the first Blight upon the world, was he not? Every child's cry as the Archdemon circles. Every dwarf's whimper in the deep roads. The nightmare has fed well.
The big demon Eramond was trying to bring through.
Yes.
It's nearby?
Yes.
Well, shit.
When you entered the Fade at Heaven, The demon took a part of you. Before you do anything else, you must recover it. These are your memories, Inquisitor.
Run while you can! Warn them!
Why are you doing this? You, of all people!
Bring forth the sacrifice.
Why are you doing this? You, of all people!
Keep the sacrifice still.
Someone, help me! What's going on here?
So that mark on your hand, it wasn't sent by Andraste. It came from that orb Corypheus was using.
Corypheus intended to rip open the veil, use the anchor to enter the Fade, and throw open the doors of the Black City. Not for the old gods, but for himself. When you disrupted his plan, the orb bestowed the anchor upon you instead.
So this was what, an accident? A random ricochet in the middle of a fight?
And if it was?
If it was, then neither the Maker nor Andraste were in any way involved in this. I'm just...
If you believe in the Maker, then you believe he made this world, and everything in it, including your accident. And if you do not, then nothing has changed. You cannot escape the lair of the nightmare until you regain all that it took from you. You have recovered some of yourself, but now it knows you are here. You must make haste. I will prepare the way ahead.
What's wrong, Hawke?
I wondered if you might be concerned about the Grey Wardens holding the Divine in that vision. Their actions led to her death.
I assumed Corypheus took their minds. You've seen it happen yourself. Come on. You can add it to the things to yell at the Wardens about when we get out of here.
Oh, I intend to.
Could that truly have been the most holy?
We have survived in the Fade physically. Perhaps she did as well. Or, if it is a spirit that identifies so strongly with Justinia, that it believes it is her, how can we say it is not?
Whatever she is, she seems to want to help us.
I'm less concerned with her than I am with the nightmare she mentioned.
Sounds like it preys on fear. Stealing people's memories, that's low, even for a demon.
Fear is a very old, very strong feeling. It predates love, pride, compassion, every emotion. Save perhaps desire. Be wary. The nightmare will do anything in its power to weaken our resolve.
But after what it did to the Wardens, it's going to learn to fear for itself.
This is the breach back in Haven. That's how I escaped.
The demon! Keep running! Ah! Go!
It was you. They thought it was Andraste sending me from the Fade, but it was the Divine behind me. And then you... She died.
Yes.
So this can't be the Divine.
You don't say.
I am sorry if I disappoint you.
The only thing that's important right now is getting out of the Fade. Whatever you are, you've helped us so far.
What we do know is that the mortal Divine perished at the temple, thanks to the Grey Wardens.
What, again? It wasn't their fault. We can debate the depressing details when we get back to Adamant.
Assuming that the Wardens and their demon army didn't destroy the Inquisition while we were gone.
So what do you say? Terrible actions are only justified when they're your terrible actions? You tore Kirkwall apart and started the Mage Rebellion.
To protect innocent mages, not madmen drunk on blood magic. But you'd ignore that, because you can't imagine a world without the Wardens, even if that's what we need.
Agreed. The Wardens may once have served a greater good, but they are far too dangerous now.
The Wardens are a risk. Send them away before they cause even more trouble.
I don't know what to tell you. There are a few good ones, but an awful lot of the Wardens I've known went crazy.
Sweet Maker, could both of you please shut up? We can argue once we've escaped from the giant fear demon.
Inquisitor.
The nightmare has found us.
All together!
I'm with you.
Did the King's bastard think he could prove himself? It's far too late for that. Your whole life you left everything to more capable hands. The Archdemon, the throne of... Well then, who will you hide behind now?
Is that all it's got? I've heard worse than that from Morgan. How do we get by?
Go! I'll cover you.
No, you were right. The Wardens caused this mess. A Warden must...
A Warden must help them rebuild. That's your job. Corypheus is mine.
Hawke!
Say goodbye to Varric for me. Sorry.
No demon army for Corypheus, it appears. The Divine, or her spirit, was right. You know that's not how they see it, though. And they just saw their Inquisitor work another miracle.
They came out of this alive. As far as I'm concerned, they can tell whatever stories they like.
I suppose the Inquisitor and his Warden friend escaped by the skin of their teeth. Wouldn't be as good for morale.
Inquisitor, the Archdemon flew off as soon as you disappeared. The Venatori Magister is unconscious but alive. Cullen thought you might wish to deal with him yourself. As for the Wardens, those who weren't corrupted helped us fight the demons.
We stand ready to help make up for Clarel's tragic mistake.
Where's Hawke? Where's Hawke?
Hawke sacrificed her life to save us and strike a decisive blow against Corypheus.
Well?
Varric, I'm...
She gave her life not because she'd sworn an oath or been marked as special, but because someone had to do it.
Alistair, you're the senior surviving Grey Warden. What do we do now?
You stay and do whatever you can to help. Alistair believes that the Wardens are worth saving, and I trust him. You're still vulnerable to Corypheus, and possibly his Venatori. But there are plenty of demons that need killing.
After all that, you give them yet another chance?
While they do that, I'll report to the Wardens at Weishaupt. Corypheus won't catch us with our trousers down again.
Thank you, your worship. We will not fail you.
Good luck, Inquisitor. Tell Morrigan. Just tell her I stood there looking foolish. How do we get by?
Go! I'll cover you.
No, you were right. The Wardens caused this mess. A Warden must...
A Warden must help them rebuild. That's your job. Corypheus is mine.
Alistair.
Right. Good luck. I'll keep it off you. For the Wardens!
She was right. Without the nightmare to control them, the mages are free and Corypheus loses his demon army. Though as far as they're all concerned, the Inquisitor broke the spell with the blessing of the Maker.
They came out of this alive. As far as I'm concerned, they can tell whatever stories they like.
That's how legends get started. Or at least that's what Varric always says.
Inquisitor, the Archdemon flew off as soon as you disappeared. The Venatori Magister is unconscious but alive. Cullen thought you might wish to deal with him yourself. As for the Wardens, those who weren't corrupted helped us fight the demons.
We stand ready to help make up for Clarel's tragic mistake. Where is Alistair?
Warden Alistair died striking a blow against a servant of the Blight. We will honor his sacrifice, and remember how he exemplified the ideals of the Grey Wardens, even as Corypheus and his servants tried to destroy you all from within.
Inquisitor, we have no one left of any significant rank. What do we do now?
You stay and do whatever you can to help. Alistair died for the ideals of the Wardens. In war, victory. And we are still at war. Do you believe the Wardens can still help?
I do, your worship.
You're still vulnerable to Corypheus, and possibly his Venatori. But there are plenty of demons that need killing.
After all that, you give them yet another chance?
While they do that, I'll inform the Wardens at Weishaupt what's happened. Best they not get caught off guard.
Thank you, your worship. We will not fail you.
Good luck with your Inquisition. Try not to start an exalted march on anything. And take care of Varric for me.
So, the line of King Callahan the Great has finally ended. I didn't know Alistair that well, but he was a friend of a friend. One of the Wardens who ended the Fifth Blight. A big hero to a lot of people. He wasn't the first good man to fall to Corypheus. He won't be the last. This story's no good for heroes.
Some of us heroes will make it. We're just too amazing to die.
Well, if we're both still standing at the end of all this, I'll buy the drinks. Hawke asked me to tell everyone back in Kirkwall where she's going. I should let Bethany know what's going on. I'd better write some letters. Excuse me.
So, Alistair is dead. 'Tis fitting that he died in a foolhardy, if heroic fashion. That was his way.
It sounds like you two knew each other.
For a time, though we were hardly friends. Still, I cannot fault his valiance, considering the end that normally awaits a Grey Warden. He did well,